in the middle of my, fire and brimstone speech, and then I just turned around and there Pepper was with a smile on his face. Anyway, it's not about me and
I
Pepper
remember
right now.
Monday.
For the next half hour, it is not about us. It is about the one, the only, the tiny Tega Tiger. How you doing? Good morning.
Good
Good
morning, good
morning.
morning,
Yeah,
Tega.
you're learning, Abby.
Exactly.
Where's your pen
I
and
really
paper?
wait. I really see that here now. I really waited for her to do it today, so I'll see what you guys were talking about on Monday, and boom, that's an intro.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
there's only one of her, so we need to do it
You
well.
have to. Good morning, everybody. How was your holidays? Are you back in traffic? Are you back to the grind? How many kindly find attached have you sent this morning already? Well, welcome to the locker room.
And those are the questions on Tega's Take. I'm really liking what you're doing right now. Like for the past couple of shows, she's coming and she's asked these very, deep and pertinent questions. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Of course, it's Smooth Breakfast with Victor Pepper.
And Shokbe Martins, who have a lot of stories for you on the locker room today.
Yes, we do. And we're going to get through them. But first of all, just know we are streaming live right now up on youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. That is the only place that you can go to see Tega's dance. All right. You can leave your comments up under that live stream and send your WhatsApp messages in to 0809 440 981 and Twitter. Hashtag lockerroom981 and make sure you tag in at Tega Supreme. Okay, so let's take you through what stories we've got for you for the next half hour. And the Suns lose book and lose games to Pelicans 125 to 114, by the way. Super Eagles drawn in Group A. And yeah, we've got that's for the qualifiers for next year's competition. And Manchester United, well, let's just put this what Ralf Ragnick had to say. Defeat humiliating, says Ralf Ragnick, whilst Lukaku struggles due to lack of fitness. That is according to Chelsea's Tuchel. Barca's shock loss to Cadiz puts Real on the verge of title, and Inter C of Milan to reach the Italian Cup final. Hey! Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola refuses to speak about Norwegian, and Atletico's Felix will miss the rest of the season.
Yes, that's just what's happening
Oh
to
boy.
everybody. Better to miss the rest of the season and go to the World Cup. I didn't say that out loud, did I? No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did. Okay, so people, there you have it. That's the rundown for you. Let's get straight in. And we officially, by the way, have a series on our hands. The New Orleans Pelicans made a push late in game one against the Phoenix Suns, but could not get the job done. Now, after game two, they have evened the series and stolen home court advantage from the Suns to change the look of this entire matchup with a 125 to 114 win.
Yes, so let me just paint a picture for you. Phoenix Suns number one
Ooh,
seed.
the master is about to start.
Yeah, they're the number one seed. You didn't expect that they would lose their home court advantage. This series was supposed to be 2-0 by the early hours of this morning. Let me not say end of night because it was early hours of this morning.
Not for us.
And then they get on court, and the first half looks exactly like it's supposed to look. Like Devin Booker had 31 points in the first half alone. So we knew that by the second half, he will catch fire. Then, third quarter started,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy was trying to chase down somebody to try and defend the shot. And he pulled something.
Oh
Where?
no.
Exactly.
Oh no.
He pulled it, he paused, and you knew that the game was over.
Oh.
That was it. He walked off the court, sat on the bench, and you know the way he was nodding his head, it was his
He was like,
it
oh
was,
yes,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
can locate it.
Yeah,
This is the
it was
source.
his right hamstring this time. Now, the
Oh.
last time out, that he got a hamstring, that was in December. That was his left hamstring. He missed 7 games. Of those 7 games, yes, they won 5, but he missed 7 games. What this means for them is that if he misses another 7 games, the series may be over before he comes
Oh
back.
jeez, man.
And that's a huge deal because they need him. Because he gets off in the third quarter. Um, Pelicans start great defense, and all of a sudden, Phoenix Suns lose. Now, it's a shocker for the number one seed to be losing to number 8 seed. There's no way this was happening. But the way the Phoenix Suns, the form they're in, it was not just. I think it was the loss of Devin Booker. If they had him there, you wouldn't have really known how poor a night Chris had, sorry, Chris Paul had, or you wouldn't have known how poor a night Aiton had. Aiton had 10 points on the night. 10 points for a center. Now, this is a big guy that's supposed to defend his paint and also attack the rim on the other end. He was out rebounded by the Pelicans 16-9. So he wasn't defending well, he wasn't offending well. He just gave us 10 points on the whole night.
It was Malcolm in the middle.
Exactly, an entire 2 hours I was watching 10 points. So
wow.
So where was the win going to come from? And you have to understand with Chris Paul, you're going to be seeing, you know, he's older, so he's not going to have the same momentum. So he played a brilliant game one, but you don't expect that in game two he's going to play brilliant games back to back. Old age will come in. There's some games he'll be very good. There's some games he'll be non-existent. Last night he had 17 points, not bad, but not good enough. And so the Pelicans have snatched this on home court. The next game is going to be in New Orleans now. They have home court advantage. And Phoenix Suns may be without Devin Booker. So it's a hard task to not see Phoenix Suns fall behind. However, we have seen Phoenix Suns win games in regular season without Paul and Devin Booker. But this is postseason. Playoff basketball. It's a different kind of grind. There's a different kind of grind to it, and that's why it's a little tougher. But some other teams did their job on night. Golden State Warriors are 2-0 up in their series. They didn't even give time to play. They're like, what's happening here? We are not here to play with you. We are waiting for the final. Just go. We're just here to win. Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid had a night of his life. And they are also 2-0 up in their series. But I guess for Phoenix Suns, well, maybe we are expecting a little too much.
All right, so let's talk about the Super Eagles now, where 3 times Africa Cup of Nations winners Nigeria have been drawn in Group A of the qualifiers for the next year's competition holding in Cote d'Ivoire. The draw, which held on Tuesday in South Africa, also had in Group A Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, and either Sao Tome and Principe or Mauritius.
Yes, so on paper, not a very tough group. And normally I'd be able to brag and say, you know what, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will qualify out of this group. You know, we will take out these people and deal with them. Who is Sierra Leone? Who is Sao Tome and Principe? Who is Mauritius? We will keep them now.
So you don't think we can?
But at this point, after coming back from Abuja, I still have PTSD.
The heartbreak is still there.
I still have PTSD from Abuja, so I'm not going to be bragging like that. I'm going to be very humble in my talk.
Nigerians, we all have lessons to learn. Sometimes it's nice to just be quiet.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? Truth be told, Nigeria, as compared to all of these countries, should be ahead. There's a reason why they were in pot 1 and the rest of these countries were in pots 2, 3, and 4. Ideally, the Nigerian Super Eagles team have more quality players, better quality players, better stars, and could do the job. But this is football and anything can happen.
That's all, folks.
Tega.
No,
That's all.
After what they've shown us.
You're gonna learn. When you fly on a plane, get to Abuja, make so much noise, everywhere is high. Then you come back and everybody on plane is quiet. It's just even the pilot, the way he was saying we are going to Lagos, it was not a very nice something. It was like, let's just be going home. So let's just be. I mean, it was great. Just I think the group of death will be the South Africa, Morocco, Zimbabwe group. But at the end of the day, it looks like a group Nigeria should get out of. Yes.
Keyword should. Let's see what happens, people. Let's see. All right.
So let us know your thoughts. You should let us know your thoughts.
Yes,
what you think.
Look, Tayo from Nigeria has already sent in a message on 0809 444 0981. That is the WhatsApp platform.
Tayo,
read it, coach. Pepper was already stunned.
Tayo says Super Eagles looking fragile, even if it's against my school team. My heart.
Okay, let's have other thoughts. Tayo from I just thought it's a little harsh, a little too much reality, and a little too much pain from the last one. Let's have more. Let's have other thoughts. What do you think seriously in Nigeria or the Super Eagles' chances in Group A? It looks like a good group, But let's see if you have. No, let's just take some messages.
Okay. So we'll take your messages on 0809 440 on youtube.com/ smooth981 FM Lagos, and on Twitter, where we are at smooth981 FM. Use the hashtag locker room 981. Now, while we're waiting for the messages to come in, let's take a look at what Ralf Ragnick said. So, Manchester United interim manager described his side's heavy Premier League defeat by Liverpool at Anfield as, and I quote, humiliating. Liverpool outclassed their bitter rivals in a 4-0 win on Tuesday to go to the top of the Premier League.
Yes, so Liverpool at the top of the Premier League now, clear by 2 points, but they've played a game more. Manchester City have the opportunity to catch up and overtake today because they play against Brighton. But we'll get to that story eventually. But let's focus on the training session that happened last night at Anfield.
Wow.
I don't like how you describe some of these things.
That's all I
The
can
Man U
say.
fans right now.
This is
Kai.
what they call that now.
Match started before we have even sat down. You just tuned into the match, waiting for Peter Drury to finish his intro. Before you sat down, goal. You're like, if there's goal now, what will 90 minutes look like?
Exactly.
It wasn't a good game. Even if
was.
that the scoreline ended in 4-0, it was worse than the scoreline. It was a horrible display, and Manchester United played better in the second half. Well, it was a combination of two things. They played better in the second half. Liverpool took their leg off the accelerator in the second half. So those two things made it a little better, but Liverpool still scored 2 goals in that second half. So at the end of the day, if they gave you full expression, it should have been 8-0. But it was not a good day for Manchester United. First of all, it started off with Cristiano Ronaldo the day before announcing that he's lost one of his newborn children. The boy died, the girl survived. First of all, we extend our condolences. So he was definitely not going to be at the game. And remember, it was his hat trick that gave Manchester United the win against Norwich City over the weekend. So if there was going to be a guy that could turn around the 14th of Manchester United, it would have been Cristiano Ronaldo. But he wasn't even going to be on the pitch. And then 9 minutes into the game, Pogba limps up. Now, a lot of people have been saying that he wasn't injured, that he foresaw the beating coming, and he claimed that he was injured. I would never take it that far. First of all, I won't assume that a player, a professional footballer, will want to do that. And there is no evidence to back that. So that's just banter for for social media. But he limps off and he's out after 9 minutes. So the big name players were not really there. And then you now have Fernandez, but you know what? We don't talk about Bruno. So generally, we don't talk about Bruno for whatever reason. So he wasn't going to pull the magic trick. And even with those two players, even with Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba and maybe Bruno Fernandes in his best form, it was always going to be an uphill a task for Manchester United to face a Liverpool side in the blistering form that they are in. Then without them, you can imagine how it was. It was really a training session. Like Salah just take the ball and say, Manny, let me see some tricks. He passed it. Manny be like, Diaz, let's see some tricks. Diaz pass it. It was a horrible.
I just wait for Man U fans right
It wasn't horrible. It was embarrassing, disappointing, maybe even humiliating.
Exactly. In the words of the manager of the Manchester United.
Yeah.
So who am I on the sidelines?
But let's talk about Mo Salah's performance.
It was good. Mo Salah, I mean, the last time out he met Manchester United, I think he scored 3. When they gave them that 5 was it 5-1 or 5-0 drubbing, and then this side he scored 2. So
First half and second half.
he loves Manchester United. He owns Manchester United. They should just give him the club. But it was a good performance by Mo Salah. But I think the person that had the best day, I think the person that was like the kid in the candy shop, was Thiago Alcantara. That guy was just playing how he wanted, like he was playing with his friends on the street. But it was not a good look for Manchester United. And the first 45 minutes especially, it looked like a non-league side playing against the Premier League champions. That's how it looked. But they recovered in the second half, or Liverpool stepped off the gas. Because for me, it was a combination of both. And it looked a little more respectable, but the scoreline was still the same. So 4-0 is out. Manchester United really falling behind the pack. But the good news for them is that Arsenal faced Chelsea today. Their banter was only for one night. Tonight, they join the rest of the world to banter somebody.
All right.
So So we get to that story, and on that story, we will open the phone lines.
Yes, please. We need to brace ourselves, so we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Yes.
All right,
Messages are
so
already too much.
yeah,
We'll come back with some messages.
yeah, sending in your messages.
We'll come back with some messages before we open the phone line. Because sometimes,
Okay, I'll stay right back. Please, we are waiting to drag Manu. Well, press up. Patiently waiting. Don't worry.
because
Crack your fingers.
the truth
We're
of the
ready.
matter is that sometimes you don't want to be Arsenal. Like, I don't think a lot of people really dragged Manchester United last night because they didn't expect Manchester United to win anyway. But Arsenal, Chelsea, Arsenal will still be dragged. So people are just warming up like generator.
Okay.
All right.
What if we now win Chelsea?
Who is we? Wait, are you an Arsenal fan?
Yeah, sure.
Papa officially resigned her friendship.
We're live on YouTube. Yeah, sure.
Papa has resigned her
Friendship is on pause.
I'm telling you. Bring me something to make me
Arsenal fans, we're
resume.
not even proud to talk about it in public any
No,
longer.
Shakwesa.
See how quiet I've been this time. Before I used to be Arsenal, something, my guy.
I'm sure your pastor will be happy over the match yesterday.
Oh,
So
yes.
if Arsenal
you will.
wins today, on Friday we'll hear your voice.
Oh yes, no.
I
From
choose
from this night.
I'm a
that's
silent
something.
supporter nowadays. There's, it's like when you're a Nigerian and an Arsenal fan, you shouldn't be opening your mouth anyhow.
In fact, I think some of us,
hey guys, we want this, and then they're not come and show you.
I think some of us are Nigerians because we are Arsenal fans.
My God.
We are just used to abuse. We are used to dysfunction. So
But like this feels familiar.
let's
yeah.
just support the club that's familiar to us.
Good. Pepple is an Arsenal fan. Hey, the banter will be epic. Prepare yourself.
It is well. People is trying. People say that guy's name. The guy that you showed me.
Sorry.
Say it now. Why are you afraid?
Wait, hold on. Are we gonna leave off Lukaku?
No.
Lukaku
is the Chelsea story.
one now.
Don't mind me.
It's the Chelsea one. Yeah, Chelsea fans.
Oh, my head.
Just Arsenal fans to just pray that Lukaku starts today.
Good morning, all. Tag a Nigeria team that has no clue. Why is it that the Nigerian team always causes people to write essays?
Are we back? Get ready to read your essay.
All right, and the messages are coming in. Going over to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos, where Joshua Adeyemi says, I'm not ready to start talking about the Super Eagles. It's too early.
It's too early.
It's too soon.
It's too early, I beg.
Whilst LK Aderogba has been waiting in the sidelines, just waiting to drag Man U. He said, we're on press up, patiently waiting. Don't worry, your time came. And also says, Pepple is an Arsenal fan. That's what the information you can only get by watching YouTube.
Exactly.
He goes on to say the banter will be epic. All right, and your messages also coming in on WhatsApp.
Big E from Ketu says Super Eagles or Super Chickens should better gear up. My U problem was beating up first 5-0 and returned leg 4-0. It's time for My U to change the devil logo and put an angel. So my condolences goes to Ronaldo, and I feel Ronaldo shouldn't have come back. A club that has been struggling to carry a cup for over 5 seasons in a row. What magic does he want to perform? Well, Tega, Arsenal might perform magic tonight.
I like the way you read that with joy. People can have hope for Africa, Sha. Real hope.
At some point, you need to just...
It's the hope of Arsenal fans that really.
Till
I've told you I want to
7:45
marry
Tega.
an Arsenal fan. I've told you. You
Very
can never
loyal.
very loyal. Will never be upset. We're hopeful that one day I'll just be sweet and nice.
She'll change one day. She'll be better. Emeka from Amua says, as it is, even Allison will slot in well with the United midfield. Imagine Liverpool was leading 3-0 and then bringing on Diogo Jota in the 60th minute to pile on more misery. Chai! There'll be no peace for the wicked. Oh. Lastly, credit to the Liverpool fans for singing You'll Never Walk Alone for Ronaldo following the death of his son. There are things that are beyond football.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
they did that. They did that applause in the 7th minute. For Cristiano Ronaldo. It was beautiful to see. That's when football unites.
And Tega, Shala wants to tell you something.
Shola?
Please look at the picture that he sent.
Shola, That's not a good picture.
Tega, open the door. I want to tell you something. Tega's not opening any doors.
My
Thank
door is
you.
very short.
All right, let's move on.
All right, Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku's struggles in front of goal this season has been down to lack of fitness, and he needs to find a spark to reignite his career at the London club. Well, that's according to Thomas Tuchel. In his words, he says, "Oh, he needs that spark. He maybe would have been a neutral starter against Crystal Palace, but perhaps he needs that spark."
Yeah, so I don't think it's just down to fitness. I think even his rhythm is off. Like he's off pace and off rhythm with the rest of the Chelsea team. It's almost like when they're zigging, he's zagging, and when they're zagging, he's zigging. He's just a pace behind. And then so when he gets the ball, there's not much he can do with it. The pressure is truly on. You can tell when somebody struggles is not just in the body, it's in the head. And he's going to need, unfortunately, you at the top is not where people hug you. You know, they didn't pay you money so that they can hug you too. They paid you money to deliver. You know, this is the kind of thing that if you saw this with a junior player, you knew that it was words of encouragement and time that you give him. But Chelsea needs goal scorers. They need results. There's nobody that is going to be hand holding you and telling you after they paid you that money, are you playing
Say,
for
my
free?
guy, do you know what we paid you?
My guy, hop on that field and
No.
gave us the goals. So and that's what Chelsea is going to need today, goals. They face an Arsenal side though that haven't had a good time since the international break. Losing points to teams of, I want to say of no consequence, but that's not the right phrase. It's teams that have nothing to lose. So they lost to Crystal Palace, lost to Brighton and Hove, lost to Southampton. These are mid-table teams that are already mid-table. So they didn't need another 3 points to be mid-table. They were always going to be there. So when you lose points like that to those sides, you now ask them to beat Chelsea. Even if Chelsea has had their own struggles, it's not against teams like Arsenal who've given away goals for free. And so that's what Arsenal faces. But this is the London Derby, and so it's form doesn't always count. Doesn't mean that it won't count this night, but it doesn't always count. So Arsenal could come up against Chelsea and be a completely different side. There are distractions though. Lacazette already saying that his agent is talking to other clubs so he can move. That's the guy that scored 1 goal in 9 games. And you're like, what are you trying to say? I mean, a striker is only as good as the goals, his number of goals he scored. What are you selling? But yeah, those distractions are there. Mikel Arteta trying to tell him to focus. So there's a lot of things going on at Arsenal. But tonight they could just drop all that because it's Chelsea and battle for the derby. So numbers to call are
0144 89981. They've been calling since.
okay. So let's